Welcome to the Pick and Pop podcast. Today we're gonna be recapping the game once that happened, and we're gonna be talking about our predictions for the first round of the playoffs. But before we get into that, Josie, how you doing, my boy?
Do it. Oh shit. All right. Well, first of all, welcome guys to the Pick and Pop podcast. I know Pick and Pop podcast, my bad. Obviously Val just introduced us, but I have a funny story to tell y'all that, I wonder, I just kind of wanted to run through it and see what you guys think, and I want to tell Valentine he does not know it yet, so I'm excited. So, anyways, last night, I went out, to go, just go, go have fun. Going out, out here in where we're from, here in our location, and I went out, and there was people around me and stuff. We're eating food with me and my boys, and this guy comes up to me and my friends, and he's all like, "Yo, any of y'all watch basketball like that?" And me out here being like, we got a freaking podcast." I'm like, "For basketball, of course I know about this." So I was like, "Yeah, bro, I know a little bit, and just a little bit." And he's like, "Oh, bro," and this is what he told me straight up. He was all like, "Dude, this guy over here is saying that he would take Kyrie Irving as the best point guard of all time over Steph or something like that." Basically, he basically said he would take Kyrie over Steph in all time conversation, and he was telling me straight up, he's like, he's tripping, right? So I want to bring that to here and talk about that. So what do you think, Valentine? I'll tell you mine right now, but I'm curious about you. What do you think
Uh,
of that take? And that guy takes Kyrie over Steph, and this is like all time, like when they're at their peak. What is your opinion on that?
so I'm not gonna lie. The first thing that came to my mind right away when you said that was, this is like the casuals. This is like the normal casual thing that just happens, like when you go to the barber shop talk, or when you just like random people that
Barbershop.
like I have a friend personally who has like really casual takes. um he has a really casual takes, and it reminded me of that. But yeah, I think it happens. I think it happens every so often, like those type of casual takes that are just a little
Mhm.
bit like they're so obnoxious that you don't even want to argue it in a sense. Because for example, this
For
one,
sure. You just like,
yeah, this one, like Kyrie over
sorry, go
Steph
ahead.
all time, is like doesn't even make sense.
Okay. Well, to piggy off that, yeah, like casuals, usually when it comes to casuals, a lot of the time it's like they're looking at like the highlights and like all this other stuff, right? And kind of like the matchups. I feel like whenever it's been Steph v Kyrie, like a lot of the time, I mean, you see Steph get the best of Kyrie, but I feel like in the one-on-one situation, I feel like Kyrie has gotten the better of Steph. Not all the time, but at least that one clip, that very popular clip when in the Cavs and in the finals, right? I believe. I don't know which game was that. Was it actually game seven? Was it game seven?
It was Game 7, and that was like the game, the shot that won them the series, the game.
And I'm saying great shot. And at the end of the day, that's great. But at the end of the day, too, it was just that one. I'm not saying it was that one championship, but you know, comparing just that shot, comparing, it's like saying like, I'm trying to think. It's like Steph's gotten the better of LeBron a lot of time in the finals, right? Like a lot of the time, right? And then it's like saying, okay, because of that, Steph is straight up. He's better than LeBron, so then he's better than MJ kind of vibes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's that build up, and I think casuals use that a lot. And for sure, that guy who said it was a casual. This guy who was talking to me was a Golden State Warriors fan from San Francisco, so I maybe a little biased too for Steph. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I think that guy was tripping too. I think Steph is. I'm not trying to be a glazer. He's low key. This is like a donut. I'm just glazing Steph. I'm like, here you go, Steph. But I'm not like Flight. I'm not Flight going. I'm not Flight, but you know, um, I would take Steph to be honest over Kyrie at their peak because Steph at his peak was. I mean, Steph is still doing amazing, but Steph at his peak was just another animal, man. I mean, I went back to watch those highlights recently, and if you guys haven't watched them, please, guys, go back and watch those. Like, what was it? Like, what was the MVP season 2015-16?
Yeah, he got it those 2 years.
Unanimous MVP. Go back and watch those runs because it was, there's a reason why he won unanimous MVP. Like he's the only unanimous MVP, if I'm not mistaken, besides almost LeBron that one time.
Yeah, that's right. He was the first unanimous MVP, and LeBron should have gotten it in 2012 unanimous too, but some someone just wanted to be different basically, and they just threw in Carmelo Anthony, I think, but he should have won unanimous. But that being said, Curry
Definitely a pick me
100%,
type reporter.
100%. Yeah.
That's what I was crazy though. I did not think like it was just so funny. Just the guy just comes up to me and is like, dude, tell that guy's tripping. And the guy literally told me when I told him what I thought, my opinion. He was all like, let me go find him right now. And he went to walking around and went to go find him around this little place we were at. It was hilarious. It was freaking
Also,
hilarious.
what
But
ended
he
up
left. That
happening
guy
then?
left. I think he knew with the guy. The other guy just left. The other guy just left. The other guy that I was talking to, he was trying to look for him, and then he just came back to me. He's like, "Bro, he's left. He's gone, bro." What a dumb take. I was like, "Hey, but everyone's got their takes on here, so it's the internet, so and real world too, so."
Yeah, it's interesting that like a random person would just come up to you and ask that, right? That's like my dream, and nobody ever does it to me.
Hey man, I just think I just got that type of face, man. And I mean, to be fair, it's playoffs time, baby. You know, it's playoffs time. We're about to get into that right now. We're gonna talk about the playoffs in a sec, but I think right now a lot of the time it's people are thinking about basketball, and the area where we're at is very like heavy in the sense. You know, that guy was asking me if I hooped as well. He actually got my contact information. Funny enough, I didn't tell you about that. So maybe I'll ball up with him, but honestly, I probably won't. If you're watching this, brother, I'm sorry. I just really busy, man.
No, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I know that like me knowing you, I know that people do just come and talk to you more often like that, and you're really good at like socializing and all that, and it's cool. Now you know now if you ever in the mood to ball up and none of your friends are available, you can hit up that dude.
Hey man, for sure. Honestly, I just hit me right now. I should have told him about our podcast.
That's
It
true. We
just
could
hit
have
me
had
right
another
now. It
subscriber,
just
man.
hit me. Fuck. That was my bad. That's on me, guys. But hey, you guys in the comments, man, please we're trying to grow, so please like the video. I think that's the best thing you guys can do. Even if you guys don't spread it, talk to other friends about us, but just like the video, subscribe please. It does a big difference for us, and this is a hobby for us and we really enjoy doing this, but it'd be nice to also be able to grow the channel as well. It'd be really nice for that. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Like to be honest, I because I know we have right now 6 subscribers, and 2 of those are us. But that means we have 4 natural subscribers, which is insane to me. That just off the first video, and obviously the YouTube Shorts, those have really helped us too. But anyways, back to basketball. When we talk about like the NBA playoffs,
mhm.
you were saying how like the NBA playoffs bring the casuals in, and I think that's true because that's when everybody starts talking about it. Like for example, one of our friends too, he doesn't really talk about basketball that much, but just because the playoffs started
Mhm.
today, we were having a conversation with him about it, and I was like, shoot, yeah, this is when everybody that doesn't really tune into the regular season comes back to watch the nitty gritty.
No, for sure. I think for me, just to give you guys a little bit of context, for me, I am I'm a big soccer fan as well, football fan for people. I love football. I love soccer. Yeah, you guys can tell I'm a Liverpool fan and Mexico, of course. But um, what I notice is like a lot of the time, a lot of fans start recognizing the players whenever there's big events. In soccer, it's the Champions League. Right now, it's the semifinals in the Champions League. There's 4 teams left. You got Arsenal, Milan, um, we got Barcelona, and then I'm missing one team. My apologies, I can't get it right now, but it's those three. Oh, PSG. Those 4 teams, right? So now
PSG?
when people watch the Champions League, which more PSG, yeah, they made it
Wait,
crazy,
who do they
bro.
have?
Mbappe just left, and PSG. Oh, Madrid are out.
No
Madrid are
way.
out. Super team did not work. Super team did not work. Brooklyn Nets all over again, and we'll talk about that later.
Well,
Basketball terms, that is insane.
actually, I mean, I know it's just their first year together, but it reminds me of the Heat with 2012 LeBron when they lost in 2011, the first year.
Ooh.
So if they can bounce
I
back,
remember
it
you
can
mentioned
still be a
that.
win.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. So sorry for getting into soccer talk, but yeah, in soccer and Mbappe, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Bellingham. These guys are just superstars, right? They're trying to build a super team out there in Europe, and yeah, man, like that's a good comparison. Like the first season not go so well with like what was it, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and
Chris
I'm
Bosh.
forgetting his name right now. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Chris Bosh. And like it didn't work, right? What happened? They got eliminated in the first or second.
Yeah, they lost the in the finals, but then they came back the next year, and basically Dwayne Wade told LeBron, "Hey man, you're being too passive. This is your team," and then they won. And that's what I was trying to tell you about Mbappe. I know like I'm not huge into soccer, but like that maybe he's taking
Hmm.
a step back because he's thinking, I just came to this team. I don't want to take over. I don't want to seem like that. But he needs to realize that he's the best player on that team. And even though I think you said Vinny Jr. got like uh second MVP or something like that, Ballon d'Or. But anyways, I think
Ballon d'Or second, yes.
second, I think like he
Mhm.
should still realize that he's the best player on that team. He has the World Cup. He got to the finals again in the World Cup. He's that guy. He should take over, and I think that's how they win.
Yeah, man, and you know what? That's a good comparison to LeBron. LeBron at that time, right? He just went to a new team. Same with Mbappe. I know PSG wasn't his main team. His homegrown team was, but it was his second team, like the team where he became a star, right? The second team, obviously his second team now is Madrid, Real Madrid. So yeah, I think Mbappe just needs to kind of be an asshole, bro. Like kind of be like I'm the number one option. Kind of be like LeBron because we all. I mean, again, I was really young. LeBron's literally funny stat. LeBron's been in the league as long as me and this guy over here have been alive, basically, which is kind of crazy. That's insane to me. But yeah, man, I think Mbappe really needs to just say, like F it, bro. I'm him. Take over. This is my team. Build around me if you want to win championships or sorry or win the Champions League and La Liga, which is the league.
And
But back to the playoff things. Oh, go
to
ahead.
be fair, I feel like also the team, his teammates, because it could be a little bit selfish for him to say, "Hey, this is my team." So I think his teammates need to step up and say, "Hey, Mbappe, like don't worry, take the reins. Like it's okay. We give you permission, just so you don't he doesn't feel selfish about it."
Yeah, and it's like a lot of understanding. I mean, obviously, as we know in basketball and soccer and a lot of these team sports, it's not just about having those stars, that one guy that's a star. Yes, you need those stars. You need them to carry you over that finish line, but at the end of the day, you also need a good team around you. You need chemistry. You just need really good people around you. Otherwise, it's not possible to get things done and get these wins, right? So,
Yeah.
you, you know, I think yeah, for Mbappe, I think big talk this summer with everybody there. It's right now it seems like they might not even win any cups, because Barcelona are just dominating every competition. So they might end up winning nothing at the end of the day. They have a final coming up against Barcelona in another cup very soon. I think in like a couple weeks. So that's the thing about European football. That's the thing about football. There's always a tournament. You're always playing for four tournaments, and which is something that's very interesting that the NBA is trying to implement, which is the in-season tournament. Which maybe we'll talk about that another time, because I would love to kind of get into that and talk about how successful it kind of has been and kind of hasn't, and maybe ways to improve upon it. So maybe that's for another day. But would you want to add something to that or?
Yeah, I just was gonna say, I think you're right. It has been working because I think even the Bucks won it this year, and Giannis was saying like, I haven't felt that feeling since the in season tournament. So even for them, the players now is feeling like a sense of accomplishment, even though it's just a new thing. I think it's working out.
And I think I think Valentin had a good point about this. Before we started this podcast, right? We talked about basketball. And he pointed out that over time, it's called the Emirates NBA Cup. Funny enough, there's a cup in England called the Emirates FA Cup, I believe, something like that. So it's funny that these sponsorships are actually looking at the NBA now as well as like, oh, you know what? Let's also sponsor their type of tournaments. So like now they're actually going to be kind of prestigious in the way, even though it's just sponsors. It's going to elevate like how important these cups are going to start being in the NBA. So now that it's called the Emirates NBA Cup, I believe it's called. Yeah, like that playoff vibe it gives, and like Giannis, like you said, Giannis, did he see that today or when did he see that? A couple nights ago?
He said this like a couple months ago, maybe a couple weeks.
Okay. Yeah, and like yeah, I mean I remember, the new courts and the special edition uniforms. I think it does give these guys more like it's a different vibe, and it's like we gotta win. And it's the fact that it goes towards the record too, that's obvious, that was really smart. like to make them they have to play these games too. So I don't know. I think European soccer and I mean football can take a lot of things from the basketball, and then vice versa. Obviously, mainly vice versa, like NBA from European football. But yeah,
Well,
man.
that's my
Sorry
next
for the rant, but
question.
we love football here.
I actually
Go ahead.
wanted to ask you something, and if you don't have anything, because I know we were just talking about this right now, but I wanted to ask
No, it's
you
okay.
if, since you watch soccer a lot, football, what would you do if you were the commissioner of the NBA? What would you take from
Okay.
soccer world and add it to the NBA world?
Ooh, if I was the commissioner, if I was Adam Silver, God, if I was Adam Silver for a day, if I was Adam Silver for a day, what three rule from soccer? I'm trying to think about that because that's tough. Because you know what, soccer has a lot of weird things where like the reason they have some of these rules, and I'm assuming you're talking about rules, right? Or it could be anything.
Anything.
Okay, if it could be anything, hmm. You know what? This is not. I'm gonna give you guys a fun answer, and I'll give you guys one that's like probably gonna be like interesting. So the fun answer I was gonna add. So in soccer, after you, and it's kind of like ejection. In soccer, after you get two yellows, you get a red. Your team automatically loses a player off the pitch. This is like a fun answer, so don't take this one too seriously. But they take up a player off. So you have 10 men playing in the pitch, and they take out one, right? So then you're left with nine, and then no goal, your goalkeeper, right? Um, so you're down, right? You're down to 10 men. They say. I think it'd be interesting if you got maybe if you got your player after you get six fouls, you're out of the game, right? I would think it would be interesting if you get six fouls, or maybe let's say you get like the two T's, and two players are out, or maybe one or something. Maybe even that one player. Let's just say you get one player and your team gets six fouls. He gets T whatever. He gets ejected or whatever, leaves the game. Maybe you lose a player on the court, and that is pretty crazy because that's such a big disadvantage, especially coming in
Right.
basketball, right? But then that way, you know how big it would be like that this is the thing, like fouling would be so bad in the sense because now people would not want to touch players like Shea at all, especially if it costs you a physical player on the court. But I think it would be really funny and just interesting of how like what would happen, maybe a lot of comebacks. Like let's say you're winning the game by like 30 points, right? And then, somehow, I don't know how that would happen, but you're the other player, you're able like you're attacking the paint so hard. Yes, you're losing the game, but you still play to try and get one of the players out on the other team. Let's say they get out, now it's 5v4 for the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes of the game. There's just 5v4. Boom, put in new guys. You have an extra shooter on the wing. You always have a plus one person. You have an advantage. That might make those 30-point deficits. They might go quickly down to like a 1-2 point game. But I don't know. Maybe that and
Wait,
a more real
before you go
answer that's
into
more
the other one,
legit. Oh,
I
go
want to
ahead.
just say something about that.
What do you think of that?
Well, look, the
What do
thing
you think
is
of that?
that I feel like coaches, it would make the game insufferable just because the coaches and the players would just try to do that instead of going to score a bucket. Oh, I'm gonna go intentionally try to foul this dude out because that's their best player. I'm gonna foul them out, and there are only gonna be four players on the court. Teams like the Warriors and the Pistons, they would be cooked, like with Draymond and with Isaiah Stewart, or even the Rockets with Dylan Brooks.
There's a stat
Imagine.
for red cards. Sergio Ramos has the most red cards in history. Bro, Draymond Green would have the most, like, I don't know what they would call it, but I bet he probably has the most T's
Oh,
already.
yeah,
Probably.
probably. Maybe him or Isaiah Stewart, but one of them, 100%.
Bro, Isaiah Stewart versus Draymond Green, hand-to-hand combat. Who are you taking? And then in a one-on-one, who are you taking?
Okay, fighting wise, so look, we know Draymond has the power because he got Jordan Poole in one
Bro,
punch.
the
Yeah, he has the power. He
lean.
doesn't have the technique, to be fair. Like, cause that dude Superman punch with two hands is
Bro's
insane.
like, anyway, bro's like, "Ugh,"
Yeah, he jumped forward and he went like that. So
and
we know
Jordan
that.
Poole.
I know. I feel so bad that he got slumped like that, man.
Bro, I saw an edit about it. And sorry, go ahead.
This is the second episode in a row we talk about this. So shout out Jordan Poole. We're sorry, bro. We love you, bro. We still
Honey,
have heart
see
here.
you looking at
But
me.
Yeah,
I'm
man. Like
ready. Sorry.
in a one-on-one fighting, I would have to take. Man, Isaiah Stewart is just a tank, though. I would take Isaiah Stewart. Yeah, I would take him. He sees red, man. I know that's a joke, but I feel like he sees red.
Seems red is crazy. Really? You take Isaiah Stewart? I mean, wow. I thought you would take Draymond, you know?
In
I
a
actually
one-on-one
thought you'd back up
basketball,
your
I'll
boy.
take Draymond.
Really? Why? Because the backpack shooting form?
Yeah, I feel like he's just a little bit faster. He's a good defender, you know.
Bro, wait, can I? Hold on. Wait, I'm not going to be able to hear you guys, but wait. Is this literally how Draymond shoots?
Let me see.
Oh, wait, I'm boring.
No, he actually shoots like that. I know you can't hear me, but he legit shoots like that, man.
I can't hear you, man. Hold on.
Oh, I was just saying, man. Yeah, that's exactly how she shoots. I remember the first time I saw the Dora backpack like edited on him. I was like, man, it's funny how he shoots like he has a backpack, and that's insane. You did it perfectly.
Was
Yeah,
that
it used to
actually
go
accurate?
in.
Oh,
It
bro,
used
you're
to
gonna have
be
to.
automatic. Now
Bro,
it's
he's
not as
hey,
good.
bro. Draymond's shooting. I think it's like 37% from the three. I think that's not too bad.
Oh wow, if that's
I
true,
think
then
so,
never
right?
mind. I
I
apologize,
think
Draymond.
so. At least this season. This season, not recently. But man, well, I have one more fun question for you before we go on and talk about the casuals in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Are you ready? All right, I'm gonna tell you two players right now, and I want you to tell me which one would win a fight and a 1v1.
Okay, I like these type of questions.
You ready? All right, we'll do one more. So would you take in a one-on-one? This is interesting. Joel Embiid versus Jokic in a fight, and then one-on-one.
Man, so I'll start off with the boring one first. One on one, I think I'll take Jokic. Um, because he just he can
Oh,
dribble. Joel Embiid has the footwork, but I'm taking Jokic. I think he has more weapons. Although that would be really close. I'm taking. You know what? I'm taking whoever starts with the ball. But I feel like
ooh,
six times out of 10, Jokic wins. I feel like he got one more win than
okay.
Joel Embiid in there. In the fight though, the thing is that Jokic has like that. Look, you saw him push one of the Morris twins. Have you seen that clip where he pushed him? And that dude was out like for the whole season, man. And he just pushed him. He got hella mad. He was
Yeah,
and the Morris
yeah,
twins.
you
He like folded, dude. So I think
yeah,
he's strong
I've seen
there.
that.
But the thing is, Joel Embiid, he just looks like he's strong like that because Nikola Jokic is a little bit slow and sluggish. I feel like he has a good chin, but I feel like if Joel Embiid, like if any 7-footer hits you, you're going down, and I feel like he can be a little bit quicker.
You're like, what the fuck? Just for context, guys, we're not that tall. So for us,
Yeah,
it's
we
like,
we would be like,
have you
who
seen
would
that meme
you
of Michael
who would you take?
of Defoe? He's a, it's so good, man. It's so funny. Sorry, go ahead.
Who would you take in a fighting match between
Oh,
both of them?
okay. All right, let's do the boring one out the way. So, basketball wise, one on one, I think I would take Jokic. Jokic. I wanna get his name right. Jokic. I don't know if that's right in Serbian. Jokic. I'd rather take Jokic because I feel like yeah, he has better. I think he's just so good. Like everybody says, he's not he's not flashy and all this, but he's just so good at those fundamentals ways of playing basketball that's his bread and butter. He's so good at those fundamentals, and I think he's better than Joel Embiid, in my opinion. Again, Joel Embiid is great. He's a star, all star, whatever. And maybe he hasn't won, whatever. But no disrespect to Joel Embiid, but I would take Jokic. But in saying that, yeah, in a fight, I'd probably take the black man, Mr. Joel Embiid. I'm just kidding. I respect them, but I would take Joel Embiid just because physically, presence, and honestly, for real, they got in a fight. I know Jokic is a dog though, like you said, he's got that strong chin, so I think he could take a lot of hits. So that fight would be one scary, and also who the f is gonna stop both these guys, bro? Like if they're in a playoff game 7 and these guys are starting to punch, who the fudge is gonna be able to stop these guys? Victor, who's 7'4", cannot stop any of these guys. Like, I'm sorry, bro. So
Yeah, good luck.
I don't. Hey,
Good luck
boy,
to the
brothers,
refs.
Jokic's brothers though. There was watching.
Right, that might play a factor. Like if you're Joel Embiid and you're thinking the brothers are getting me after this game, I might lose. I might lose the fight just so I don't get repercussion later on.
You actually think those brothers would go down the tunnel? Go. Actually, I think they would, bro.
Aren't they
I'm
like
not gonna
from
cap.
the? They're like connected to the mob. I heard
Is that true, or is that like cap?
to
I
the
thought that was kind of
mafia.
cap.
And I think
Oh
one of
hell
them, the
no!
one that was hella scary, he has like a professional MMA record of like 2-0,
How many?
2-0. I think he retired, but still, it's like that's crazy. Winning two professional fights.
Bro really said 2 wins. I'm out. He's like, I'm gonna see the first one. I'm gonna win this. Let's do one more time. All right, that's it. I retire as a
Yeah,
champion.
he was like, oh, my brother's a millionaire, and I don't have to do this anymore.
Hey, for real though, you gotta make money somehow, bro. That's what we're doing this. Anyways, back to the
For
original
the love of
question.
the
Back to
game, love of
basketball,
the game.
guys. Oh yeah, for the love of the game. Back to basketball. Yeah, man. I think at this time, a lot of people, especially the casuals, I think they're gonna go back. Like this is the time when casuals are gonna start learning these players' names. Obviously, we know most of them. You know, and the stars, right? And even like role players. But I think the casuals they learn these names in the playoffs. I think a lot of casuals don't watch basketball until April, man. Like after that trade, I mean, we all know what happened with Luca, but after that trade, usually that's when people start watching March, April. So I think April, May, man, obviously playoffs time. So I think April, that's why April's so big. I just think this is when casuals are gonna start learning people's names. I think this is like they say, this is where you make your name for yourself, the playoffs, because everybody's watching the
It's
clips and
true.
all that.
This is
So
like
I don't
where
what
the
you think,
Derek
bro.
White to the world. This is where they make their name.
I
This is
freaking love
where,
myself some Derek White. Hey, yo, pause.
and that's where you learn about them. So I think this is the time. Like if some, like today, I think Nas Reed. I mean, he's pretty well known already, but
Yeah.
like today, Nas Reed, he scored. Like for the casual fans though, Jaden McDaniels and Nas Reed, they're not like necessarily household names. So here I have that Nas Reed today. He scored 23 points, and I think at one point it has like he had played 15 minutes and he scored 18 points, and similar with Jaden McDaniels. So this is where the casual fans are like, wait, who are those guys? And now they're gonna keep
So
talking about them.
did the Timbies take it? They took it,
They
I'm
took
assuming,
it
right?
once, dude, 117 to 95.
But I heard Luca was going off.
Luka scored 38. I'm pretty sure 37. But here's the
Well,
thing.
Luca is here to play though, but go ahead.
Well, you know what? Before we make our predictions, I guess let's just talk a little bit about these games. I am not gonna let these
Okay, cool.
games necessarily sway my predictions because it's just game one.
Okay, me neither.
Um,
You mean neither.
but it's just to keep in mind, I guess, that the Timberwolves won pretty comfortably. Even though I don't know if it's necessarily replicatable for them to do this because LeBron only scored 19 points. Nobody else really gave him anything. Austin Reeves only scored 16. Uh, Haru Hashimura scored 9. Dorian Finney-Smith only scored 3. So
Sorry, there's a Smith.
I know my
Smith.
bad. Smith, he only
Nah,
scored
you're
3.
chilling,
So
bro. You're
so that's that game. I guess let me see if we want to get into the other games. The in the morning, the Pacers also destroyed the Bucks pretty badly.
I saw that game. Oh my goodness, bro. Giannis was a beast, though. I'm not gonna
He
cap.
was a
Giannis's
beast.
back must get hurt because he was carrying the shit out of the Bucks. I was like, oh my god, this guy was playing like he just got off. He just got drafted. Like he's fucking poor. He doesn't know where his next meal is coming from. I was watching this guy, man. Like, you gotta love Giannis, man. Such a humble guy. I don't know how you can hate on this guy, man. I don't
Y-
understand. Sorry, go
y-
ahead. I just want to point that out.
no, I
Shout out
agree.
to
You
Giannis,
can't hate on Giannis, man. Such a good player. And it sucks that I guess since we're talking about him, Damian Lillard, he didn't play this game, but he's gonna be back by next. He had the blood clot in his calf, but he's
man. Oof,
gonna be back.
scary stuff.
Scary, man. He's gonna be back either next game or game 3. So what the Bucks have to do, if he's not gonna be here next game, they have to win next game because you can't have Dame come back in game 3 a little bit rusty and now they're down 2-0 and they have to climb back. at least if they win one, they're 1-1. It's an even playing field, and you and Dame is now there to help. You know.
No, for sure. I think next game's gonna be way harder. I will say I was watching. Like I said, I was watching the game, and yeah, man. Like I mean, not the whole game, but I watched like kind of the highlights. And man, like one, they're playing good, and as well, at least I'm talking about the Pacers right now. The Pacers had a really good game. Obviously, they're home, they're comfortable, um, which is crazy. I did not realize that they actually got above the Bucks. I actually thought the Bucks had the higher seed, but I forgot actually it was the Pacers. Right? Is
Right.
that correct?
Let me
Because
double
the Pacers
check.
played
But
at home.
they were playing at
At
home.
least that's yeah. The Pacers playing at
Okay.
home. That's why I was like, wait,
Okay.
what?
Yeah,
So
then that
maybe
means they had a
I
higher.
did not pay attention. I'm assuming they had a higher seed. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, they have the fourth five. Yeah, they did.
Oh, that makes sense. See, that makes sense. I was like, wait, what? They're not playing in Milwaukee. I was like, wait a minute. No, but to be honest, man. I mean, I was watching the game and Siakam was freaking brilliant, man. Siakam and I always get his name wrong, but Andrew Nembhard.
Oh,
Andrew
Andrew
Nembhard. He
Nimhard.
had an amazing game too. Nembhard. Nembhard.
Nimhard, yeah, Nimhard.
Nimhard, he had an amazing game, and honestly, their bench, man, their bench did pretty good job. A couple double digits there. I think it was like two, 3 players got double digits, and I mean the fact that something I noticed about the Pacers, man, they have just a solid team, man. Like every player's there getting points up on the board. I mean, we're not gonna talk about over here. Literally, this is a crazy. I'm gonna read this to you. Ready? Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, Brook Lopez, Tarian Prince, and Ryan Rollins. Right? They're all starters for the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Three. Guess how many starters had 0 points? Had less than 10 points. Less than 10 points.
I know that.
How many starters?
So I know that I have the stats here, so I'm not gonna look at them. But I know that Kyle Kuzma scored 0 because I kept seeing the memes like Kyle Kuzma like my next stop is Shanghai.
A lot of
But
cardio. A
I
lot of cardio
know
today.
I'm guessing since they lost by that much, I'm guessing that the Bucks didn't have like what I'm gonna say 3 out of their 5 starters didn't score over 10.
Actually, really close. 4 out of the 5 starters did not score over 10 points. Uh, Kuzma had 0. Prince had 0. Brooke Lopez had 9, and Rollins had 5 points. While Giannis had 36, 12, and 1. Yeah, man. Giannis needs help, bro. I think Dame, his Robin's got to come back. I don't know what you think, but I think you're right. I think you're right what you said earlier. I think the next game's gonna be, Dame being there is gonna be a big difference. For the Bay, being able to facilitate the offense a little bit better. I'm not saying Giannis not a good facilitator. He is, but
You need a
you
point guard.
always, you need an actual point guard, man. And that's what we've seen. Apparently, what Sacramento needs. That's what they've been saying. Sacramento said that they needed a point guard, and technically they had 2 good point guards at one point. But we'll see
That's
what Sacramento
exactly what
drafts
I
next
was
season.
gonna say. That's like, oh, really? You need a point guard? It's not like you had the Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton on your team. Like you don't get to
Who's
complain
leading the
about that,
Pacers right now to a win over Milwaukee?
right? Even at the
Hey
time,
man, it
people were
happens,
saying that
man.
was the wrong choice, but it is what it is. His hindsight, I guess.
And it's hindsight, man. Yeah, I mean they had 2 amazing guards. I guess they didn't really know what to do with them, and yeah, man. At the end of the day, maybe if it went the other way around, something else. But you know what?
Yeah.
Stuff happens for a reason. Maybe we'll see if something happens. We'll see.
And Tyrese
But
liked it there in sack, so I don't know why
I
they would
heard that
even
too. Is he from?
trade
Is he
him.
from? Where is he from? Is he from California?
Let
Where's
me
he from?
Google real quick.
I think
Tyrese.
Tyrese Halliburton, because he gives me California vibes, or like Idaho or something, or like Nevada.
He was born in
But,
Wisconsin.
wow, really? Why is Tyrese Halliburton so happy, bro? I don't get it, bro. Like I'm a happy guy, but this man is way too happy to have that state. No offense, you're from there. We love all 50 states here, but I'm just saying, bro. There's some states that are happier than others.
But okay, so I guess now that we talked about him, let's just get straight into it. Who do you have winning the series?
This one? Oh wow, we're going straight to it. You know, this is hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I think we should take care of the East first. Is that fine, or do you want to go back and forth?
Yeah, let's take care of the East.
You know, I think, you know. again, let's pretend like this first game didn't happen, right? And me out here thinking, okay, Dame is starting, right? Let's say Dame just start this game, right? To be honest, man, it's close, closer than I think. And I just said, I think I really do believe that the Pacers have a good, solid team around them. They have a lot of players with them. Um, but I'm gonna say the Bucks, and this is just because of that. Everyone talks about the Warriors championship DNA, but I don't know if the Bucks have that essentially because they don't have enough players that went through that championship. Besides Giannis and maybe a few other of those pieces, right? A lot of those key pieces,
Yeah, I
obviously
wonder.
Chris
You're
Middleton,
right. I wonder who else is here. I mean, they have
well,
Giannis who was there, Brooke Lopez,
Brooke Lopez.
Bobby
Forgot about
Portis
Brooke.
Jr.
Damn, he's been there in Milwaukee for a while. Oh, Bobby Portis Jr.
and Pat
But
Connaughton, but he
like,
doesn't even play.
even like it's the who am I thinking of? He's in Boston right now. Got
He's in
traded
Boston.
from
Oh,
Bucks to
Drew
Boston.
Holiday.
Drew Holiday, right? Why am I thinking? Yeah, he was in the Bucks. Why am I thinking like he wasn't?
Yeah.
Like a player like that, he's doing amazing in the Celtics, and that's why the Celtics are such a strong team as well. These guys have so many just good players, and we're not even thinking about Kristaps Porzingis. Like he feels like the fifth option on that team, which is insane to me. Like this
Yeah.
guy can come off the bench if he wants. Obviously, he's their main center, but Celtics are so loaded. We'll get to the Celtics, but let me finish with this. I would say the Bucks. I'm gonna say the Bucks just because I think Giannis is a force to be reckoned with. You know, I think this might be Giannis's last year in Milwaukee if this just doesn't work out. I know that might be a hot take, but seeing obviously see all the media, I think he loves Milwaukee. I mean, he talks about that story when he got picked up by fans in Milwaukee when he was a rookie to make it to the game while he was running down the street. He loves Milwaukee, kind of Luka situation, right? Luka loves Dallas, same thing. But I have a weird feeling that if this doesn't work out with Dame this year, I don't know. I feel like maybe he might be ready to go, or maybe in one more year. But I think this might be it. But they might blow up the team after this. But in saying that, I think the Bucks are moving on. What do you think, man? What do you think, pal?
Man, yeah, look, well, I feel bad because now the Pacers are up 1-0, and I'll be honest, before this game, I had Bucks in 6. But
Ooh.
after this game, even though I feel a little bit disrespectful saying this, I'm gonna have to go Bucks in 7 because
Wow.
they
Oh,
have
I
the
didn't
best
say how many
player.
rounds. I'll go ahead.
They have
Hmm.
two. They have the two, in my opinion, the two best players that are playing. And even if Dame is at 80%, just him being the decoy out there is better than whoever their point guard is right now. So I have the Bucks in 7. I'm sorry, Pacers. I know this one might age like milk if they get swept or something, but I have them in Bucks in 7.
Yeah, man. I didn't say in how many. I think in 7. I'm not gonna lie. I would have probably said 6 if it wasn't for their win tonight. But yeah, I think same with you. The having Dame there. Yeah, man. I think they're get it done. I guess we both have the Bucks moving into the next round. Well, I want to ask you. I don't want you to get started with this. I guess we'll go down here. What do you think between the Magic and Celtics? I guess we'll go with them. What do you think's gonna move on?
You know what? I'll keep it simple for the audience who are listening. I'm not gonna waste your time.
Magic.
Celtics in 4. Nah, Celtics in 4, man. Um, I think it's gonna be a
Wow,
sweep.
swept.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing
What about
around
my
this
boy
time.
Paulo?
I think he's gonna try
Whoa.
his best, man, but they don't have enough offense to keep up. Not even close.
Nah, man, they only got my boy Grady Dick. Wait, no.
No, they don't.
What's his name? His last name? Something Black?
um, what's it? His name Cole? Oh no, Cole Anthony. No, I don't remember his name. But yeah, he switched the jerseys
You know
with.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Where's Grady Dick right now? He's in Raptors or he's
yeah,
in Chicago? Oh, yeah,
Raptors.
fudge cakes. Damn, I always get that. All right, well, all right, man. Same with me. I'm just picking off. I'm a piggyback off Val's observations. Yeah, man. Keep it simple. Paulo Bencher can't make that. Again, no disrespect. It's no disrespect, man. Even that team, I think I think when you're in basketball in any sports, you gotta believe you can win, right? But sometimes there's that reality check of like when you're a championship contending team and when you're not. I think everybody's aware. I think because there's a feeling, and I think a lot of these players have talked about that feeling of like you feel like you're gonna win the championship. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so heartbreaking when some of these teams get eliminated early, or when these teams get eliminated by an underdog, because they know those underdogs aren't gonna make it to the final, right? Um, so yeah, man, keep it simple. I'm gonna say Celtics in four. Celtics in four.
All right,
So
Celtics in
like
four
the
then.
Fantastic Four. Fantastic
Fantastic.
Four.
The Magic, Disney World, Fantastic Four, man. Celtics in four. Um, who else? Let me see. Piggybacking off what's his name, Shannon Sharp. Shout out Michelle.
Shannon
Who
Sharp,
do you
baby.
have?
Unk is crazy.
Who do you have? Pistons, Knicks.
This one's tricky. Psych is not tricky. I must say, I must. So I have the Knicks, but I don't. I think mm, I'm gonna say five, and this is no disrespect to the Pistons. A great season, great comeback season compared to like last year of the losing streak they went on 20-0 and 20. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's bad, man. I was watching a video about how that was probably one of the worst losing streaks in the history of American sports, not NBA, in American sports. You know how crazy that is? And it almost was worldwide too, almost the worst losing streak, but great bounce back. But I think the Knicks are gonna get it done in 5 games. Maybe they'll let one game slip away because of maybe Cat. I almost said I don't know why, but because of Cat maybe, or it's just not a good game. I think Pistons will take one, but I think five. Knicks in five.
Well, yeah, Knicks in five. I like that prediction. Well, let's see. Today the Knicks won 123 to 112, but but
Ooh.
at one point in the fourth quarter, the Knicks had to go on a 21-0 run to catch up. So that's both telling on the Knicks like that they had the grit to come back to that, but at the same time it is a little bit scary. But on the flip side, it's a little bit scary for the Pistons too because they had that lead and they fumbled it like that. Like oh man, like you couldn't hold on to. It shows like the youth
It's demoralizing at the end of the day.
and
It's
is
very demoralizing.
demoralizing. And I think if they wanted to take a
This
game,
team.
it was gonna be this one. I'm gonna agree with you, Josie. I think they're gonna get one in there. Maybe one in their home.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
gonna go Knicks in five.
Pops.
Yeah, pause.
Knicks in five.
Knicks in five.
Awesome. Well, Knicks in five. All right, we'll go to the next one. What about this? Was interesting because I have a weird take on this, but Cavs #1 seed, amazing, versus the 8th seed, the Heat, Miami, beat Atlanta. What do you think?
If Jimmy
Give it to me.
Butler was still here, um, I might have trouble picking
Ooh.
this just because he's that good. But Jimmy's not here anymore. The team has been a lot more subpar than it has been in years prior, and I think maybe I'm being a little bit biased in thinking still that they are the team that they used to be. But the team that they are now and the Cavs they have some experience. I'm gonna say, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna disrespect the Cavs. I think they get them out of here in 4 games. I think it's a sweep. What do you have?
Really? You think it's a sweep? This is where it's gonna be interesting. So just to give you guys a little preview, I kind of went into this playoff. You know, I'm predicting as as I'm predicting in the sense of like, yes, these are the teams I do are gonna win. This matchup, I will say, I was gonna be kind of me, and I was gonna say the Heat are gonna pull the upset because I feel like every year there's an upset, and I was thinking, don't do that. I seen that look. Hear me out. I think again, no Jimmy. I understand the Cavs are crazy. I get it, but I wanted to put what? Hey, yo, stop flexing your muscles, bro. I wanted to put something in here to make this exciting, make it crazy. And I'm not saying the Cavs aren't, I think the Cavs can get it done. I think this is either going to be Cavs in 4 or Heat in 7. I think if somehow the Heat get 1 win or 2 wins, they might take it in Game 7. But being realistic, if I'm being dead ass, I think the Heat are. I mean, whoa. Even me trying to cap, I'm saying the Heat.
Go
I
with
know
your heart,
Jimmy's not
Josie. Go
there.
with your heart.
Go with my heart. I'm gonna go with my heart and say Heat in 7 games. You heard it here first. If it happens, there has to be an upset. There's always an upset. I'm gonna say Heat in 7 games. They're gonna take it to 7. It's gonna be hard. I think the Cavs are gonna sweep the first game. I don't even know if they played today. Did they play today? I don't think they did, right?
No, they play
No.
tomorrow.
But I'm gonna say that Heat in 7.
Man, well,
It's
I'll
not
tell
gonna
you
be
what,
easy though.
Josie. You're bold for saying that on the internet. I respect you. Um,
Hey,
man,
I'm gonna just
here,
say it, man.
I think you're. I think you
Their
have.
culture.
I know, but I think that you're falling into the trap um, of falling in love with who they used to be, because the last since
Mm.
2020 they've been an underdog. They made it to the conference finals. They made it to the finals twice. But you have to remember, man, a big like 90% of that was Jimmy Butler. But you know what? I like it. You know, sometimes there is upsets. I will remind you, you already picked an upset with the Bucks winning, but that's a 4-5, so it's not as big. But yeah, man, the Heat in 7, that's a crazy take. I'm telling you what though, if it pans out, you're gonna look like a genius. But I'm so skeptical, man.
Hey, man. Hey, what is that quote? People call you a genius until you actually succeed, and they call you an idiot. That's a crazy ass
Opposite,
quote.
opposite.
I need to find it. Oh, can you say it? I don't know the whole quote.
Oh yes, I think people call you an idiot until you actually succeed, and they call you a genius.
That's me, baby. Put it right here on
Man,
my chest.
I
Come
don't
back to
even
the
want
video.
to.
If this happens, I'm telling you right now, if this happens and the Heat, I know maybe I fell in love with the past team. You're right, but I think we're forgetting Wiggins is there too. He's got experience in the finals. He's gotten. Yes, Wiggins might not be that crazy of a difference, but I think they have enough players. If they all turn it up and they say, you know what, let's show this Cavs team whatever. Let's just show them what we can do. I mean, if Tyler Hero can hopefully, man, show that he can be the number one option. And with Bam Adebayo too, nonetheless, he's also there. So I think they can make something special happen down in South Beach of Florida.
Well, before we get into the next team, we're gonna take a little break. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. My dog needed to go to the restroom, but um, man, I'm a little bit mad that we
I'm
cut
the
off.
dog.
I'm a little bit mad that we needed to cut off during that conversation because I'll say this, man. The Heat in 7 is so bold. Like I applaud you
Oh, I forgot
because
about that.
that's insane. The, the disrespect to the Cavs is insane, but I respect you, man, because that's a bold take.
I said 7 games to be fair. I'm not saying that's just, I okay. They just kind of just they can take them to 7 games. Now that I think, but I'm just saying, hey, I could have capped the Heat in 6. No, Heat in 7, bro. It's gonna be a competitive matchup. I think these teams have a lot going for them. Obviously, Heat not the greatest record, but you know what? They're the playoffs. They made it here for a reason. Somehow they made it. So you know what? Let's see what
Barely.
happens. That's my take. I want to be different. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think that sometimes you gotta play with fire, and that's what makes this fun. You don't want to go in there and pick every like, you know,
Miami Heat, baby. Only
yeah.
play with fire.
You don't want to go. That's good. But yeah, you don't want to just pick the high seed every time. So I applaud you for that. But yeah, I think that's all of the teams in the East. Now we can move on. Let's get started with the 1-8 on the West. The Thunder Grizzlies. Who do you have on that one? Another upset?
Not this time, baby boy. No, honestly, I really thought about this one as well. This one again. So I'm the. By the way, the way I've done this is pick my matchups, cross reference. That no, I am just basing off of like my mental stuff. But what I did do is I have it written here. I just put exactly how many games it will take. So kind of thinking about it as I go. But Thunder Grizzlies, man. I think just the Thunder might be a little too much for the Grizzlies. You know, um,
You think Ja
Man, the
gets them
Grizzlies are
one?
just so good this year. Shea, D- yeah, I think Ja will for sure get him one. I could see two even, but I think I'm gonna just not disrespect the number one seed in the West, nonetheless. In the West, brother,
It is a little
they
different.
play
You're right.
mostly the West teams as well. At the end of the day, so I'm gonna say OKC in five. OKC, KFC, LAFC, Oakland in five.
I look. I think that I agree with you. OKC to be the number one seed in the West, and by that big of a margin, you have to be good. And what's his name? Shea doesn't even play most of the fourth quarters. This in the playoffs, he's gonna play every fourth quarter. I think they get him out of there in four. I'm being a little disrespectful to Ja, but I think he has a little ankle injury. I just don't think they got.
Mm.
I don't think they got even one game in them. And watch tomorrow, they're gonna lose. They're gonna win.
Not even one is pretty. Not even one is pretty statement, but you know what? That's fair, man. If that's what you're feeling, then that's what you're feeling. The team, so
So I
that's fair. And I mean,
suppose,
Shea might even win the MVP. So
yeah, and that's true. And Shea's probably gonna win MVP,
I guess it's regular season.
like our predictions last time. But I guess we
Hmm
can get
hmm
into the seventh and two seed in the West. I'll get started with that one: Warriors versus Rockets. You were
What do
saying
you
that
think?
matchup is gonna feed families. I agree, man. Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green. Who do you have getting a technical first in this series?
I almost spit out my water. Uh, I'm gonna say Draymond. I love Dylan. I love. Well, I don't really love Dylan to be honest, but I love Draymond. But I think Draymond's gonna get the first one, and it's gonna set the motion. He's gonna get it in the first quarter in the first game. That's my prediction. He's gonna get
Whoa! Right
right
away.
away. That's my
Get over
prediction.
with.
That's my prediction. Put some money on it. Put $20 on that. I hear there's bets about that. I think, because you know what? I think Draymond's gonna want to set the for this series. Because this is, keep in mind, Warriors are the seventh seed. They're not gonna be playing home. They don't have. I think setting the tone right off the Draymond coming in. You know when Kobe Bryant did that to Saw, he's like, I'm gonna run through his chest, and he's like, Nah, you ain't doing that. That's your teammate. Next play, boom, runs through his chest, sets the tone for. They end up winning the game. So I think this is a similar situation. Loki, I know that you just kind of a jokey question, but I'm being genuine. The Warriors are gonna come off strong, and specifically,
Yeah. Well. I think that the I agree with you that like what you were saying earlier about there's always an upset. I think this is the series just because the Warriors are so experienced and they have a guy that's also used to taking his team to the finals in the Heat, and you
mm-hmm,
pair that up with Stephen Curry, and I feel that it's gonna be tough though. People are kind of taking it lightly, like, oh, everyone was saying everyone should want to be the 17 so they could play the Rockets. I don't think it's gonna be that easy, man. I think it's gonna be a tough, gritty
mm-hmm.
matchup. I think Warriors get it, but I think in seven. I think they get out of there in seven.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So kind of Sacramento type vibes when they went all the. Wow. Okay. Okay. But Warriors in seven.
I have Warriors in seven. I think. Yeah.
You know, I think you're right. I think, like I was saying, I think you already feel my tone. Obviously, I'm a big Warriors fan. Steph's literally on my wall right there. He's literally on my wall. Um, I want to say there's a reason he's on my wall. By the way, not I don't. It's not because I'm a weirdo, but he's on my wall. But anyways, I think I'm gonna say Warriors in six, man. And again, no disrespect to the second seed of the Rockets. I think six is perfect. I think the Rockets get the game one. I think they're gonna get the first one, then the Warriors get the next. And I think the Warriors, man, being back home playoffs, I think they'll get those two wins. But then I could see the Rockets get another win again. Maybe the Warriors might be able to win it in game six. So I'm gonna say, having Steph, man, 37 now, right? With Jimmy, who's 35.
Yeah.
Old team, we know this, but you know what? I think unleashing Kaminga in this series is gonna be. I think getting another energetic player. I know Kaminga has sometimes Steve Kerr for some reason doesn't trust him. It feels like at times. I think this is the series to unleash a beast, man. Unleash that dog. Because we need that energy player that we don't really have on the team. Moses Moody's great, but he's no Kaminga. So that dunker, that guy who's fighting for everything, and I think that's if the Warriors want this done, I think they need help by Kaminga's help, and obviously playoff Jimmy, who's already kind of showing off, baby. We got Batman and Robin, baby. So let's do it. Warriors in 6. That's my prediction.
Worse than six. Yeah, I like it. I feel like I agree with you. But Kaminga, man, yeah, I don't know how I feel about him. Not even he didn't even get PT in the playing game, so I'm a little iffy on him. But I think that the vets can get it done. Draymond, Jimmy, and Curry. The Rockets are inexperienced, but like I said, I'm not gonna play that too much of a
Hmm.
factor. I think they're gonna lose because of that, but I think it's still gonna be a close matchup.
Hmm. Okay. Well, cool,
And
man. Well, I wanna, you know, I would say I'll move you on to the next one just because I guess. Oh wait, you guess you did it, but it's fine. What do you think of? This is interesting. I kind of want to talk about this one, and then we'll go to the other one. Obviously, both of these teams did play today, so I don't know if that's gonna affect you mentally. I want you to answer this one. Nuggets versus the Clippers, because I saw the Nuggets were down a lot. And they pulled something off. I think they were down, right? Is that true?
yeah, they were down
Or was it the other
most
way
of the
around?
game, but it was close the whole game from my
Mm.
understanding. Um,
Oh, okay. Okay.
well, I'll just be honest. What I had before the series started, I had Nuggets in 6, but after this game, it makes me rethink a little bit because I was seeing online that the Clippers have the best offense and defense this whole last month, and they just been meshing so well. James Harden looks like the NBA, like one of the NBA, his NBA team, his first NBA team self again. And if he's playing like that, and the Kawhi Leonard's playing as good as he is, and Zubac too, I feel that they can win. But I think that the Nuggets have the best player in the world, and like they proved tonight, they can pull it off. This is the one where I feel the most iffy about. Like this one's the one that I keep tossing and turning, but I'm gonna go Nuggets in 7.
Wow. Nuggets in 7.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I like that prediction though. I mean, gotta respect Jokic. Gotta respect the man. He's freaking amazing, man. Could win MVP. We don't know exactly, but I mean, still MVP or MVP runner up. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I did not see. I'm not gonna lie. And you're gonna see why right now. I picked the Clippers, man, taking it in Game 7. I actually believe and I have it written down right here. I'm not even BSing. It's literally written down. I said Clips in 7 because yeah, man. I watched that Warriors obviously win an OT, but man, James Harden, he really is that guy right now. I don't know what the f happened. I don't know why in LA of all places, not even with the Lakers, with the Clippers. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the coaching. They do have a, but having Kawhi there too, amazing, and they do have a solid team. I think the Clippers will get this done, man. I think all the way to Game 7. Obviously they lost today's game as well. I mean that might be proof, but I think Clippers are gonna get it done. That's just the feeling I got.
Yeah, you
Take
know
this.
what? I
Maybe
didn't
it's a little different.
I didn't take into consideration that the Nuggets fired Mike Malone. Um and you're right,
Mhm.
man. The Clippers have such a good coach in Tyronn Lue, and the Nuggets right now don't even
Mhm.
they have like a the assistant coach doing the head job,
Yeah.
pause. But man, I feel that it's gonna be a tough one. My heart is saying Clippers, man, but just because I had the Nuggets before this game, even happened, I'm gonna say Nuggets in 7. Did, like I told you, I originally had them in 6, but I'm gonna say Nuggets in 7. And but I'm gonna be honest, I have the Nuggets winning, but I'm rooting for the Clippers because I want to see Kawhi get another one,
Mm.
and I want to see what's his name?
Wow, another chip or another game round?
I want to see Kawhi another chip, and I want to see James Harden. I want to see him get one, man. So I'm rooting for them this round at least. But
Wow, wow, wow. Are you saying they're gonna win the? Okay, no, we'll get to that. I'm gonna tell right
but
now.
that being said, I
Okay,
do have the Nuggets though. I do have the Nuggets winning, but I'm
yeah,
rooting
that's
for
true.
the Clippers.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, we'll move on to the next one, uh, which
Yeah,
is
this is the last one. Probably the one that people click the video because of. Timberwolves versus Lakers. Uh,
ooh,
if
ooh.
Shannon Sharp wants them to win in 5, the Lakers gotta lock in because they already lost one tonight. I'll give you my prediction before this game. I had Lakers in 6. And you know what? I'm not gonna let
Wow.
this game persuade me. I'm gonna say that Lakers in 6, and I don't think the Timberwolves have as good as a game like this again. And I feel that LeBron and Luca, they're just too much, man. They're gonna lock in, I feel, and win this series in 6.
Yeah. Okay. That that's interesting. I thought, me knowing Valentine, you know, I knew he was gonna say Lakers, but not in 6. Valentine knows me. He knows I love Louis Dort, Noah Dort, Sora Dort. Lakers in 5. So I'm gonna say Lakers in 5 because of the
Oh,
meme. I'm not gonna lie.
so you
But if
think
I'm being
that
dead ass,
they're winning 4 in a row?
I would. I think they're gonna win 4 in a row. Obviously, if I would be more dead ass, maybe I'll be like, okay, play it safe. Give me a 6. But no, I'm gonna say Lakers in 5 because you know what? I think JJ Redick analyzed the f out of that game. You know, people don't understand. I gave him a lot of praise last video. I really think JJ Redick has ball knowledge. He just knows, man, what to do, and he even knows himself matchup. And I think he's gonna learn from this game, by the way. So I think he's gonna learn from this, restructure the team. I think they have enough pieces. Maybe they're missing there, maybe defensive, but you know what? I think they'll be able to team and be able to figure it out, and I think they'll get 4 in a row. I think they'll get next game, win the 2 at home, and lock in when they come back to
Yeah, sorry. Before we
Lakers in
keep
5.
going, do you have is your mic plugged in like all the way in to the? Is that
Oh,
cutting off just a little bit? I don't know why.
how is it right now?
Oh,
How's
no,
this?
it's good now. Yeah, it's
Is
good
it
now.
good?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Sorry, I
just
don't know why
turned
I was
this.
doing
All
that.
right, we're good. And
But
it's
yeah,
okay.
you
Thanks
got.
for letting me know. So what were they saying?
So yeah, you got Lakers in 5. I got Lakers in 6. Just I guess quick recap. I have Lakers in 6. Josie has Lakers in 5. I have Knicks.
Mhm.
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. But I had Knicks winning. I had
We have
Nuggets.
Knicks winning, Celtics.
The Nuggets. I have Nuggets. You have Clippers. We both have the Bucks winning. I have
I have it written down.
Cavaliers,
Don't worry.
and you have Heat.
I I got all mine written.
The way the way man. But yeah, I mean that's the NBA first round playoff predictions. And by the next time we record one of these, some of the series might be over, or some of them might be getting into the later games, so we could come back and recap what we saw.
Hopefully Lakers in 5.
Yep, hopefully not. But yeah, man,
Hopefully
we'll
not.
see what happens. And anything else you want to add?
Yeah, man, guys. Please let us know if any of these takes are bad. Let us down. Maybe put what you guys think down below, and I'd love to, kind of start a conversation. I think this place is, free space for really just give your opinion, even if you are a casual. You guys' actual opinions. We like to have fun here, so please, man, don't be afraid. Tell us what you guys think. Who's gonna win these first rounds, man? Let us know. And yeah, man. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next time. Kind
Yeah,
of
I
all I wanted
agree.
to say.
Even if you're casual, leave your comments down below because I consider me and Josie casual, so we're part of the group. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
leave the comment below. Like if you made it this far, like the video, and we will be back next week.